It's the final Moto3 race of the season at the circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia. We are moments away. Let's cross down trackside.
Starts and he's aggressive, so yeah.
He was on a fast lap when he crashed in qualifying, yeah. So you know, there's great potential there for Casey O'Gorman.
One of the negative things we say about this track, or we have said about this track, I'm referring more normally to a MotoGP bike. It's a bit small for a MotoGP bike. For these bikes, it's perfect. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities, and we get good Moto3 races.
Yeah, good point. Because we're out of sync with the pictures that we're being given, it's Adrian Fernandez who's in pole position. But you feel as though David Almanza has the pace today?
Yeah, he's been the man with the pace since the start of the weekend, and Monza has been really dominating. He's even done some sessions with quite a bit of a gap, actually, which is surprising because around Valencia here it's normally very, very tight. So we'll see how it goes with the colder temperatures. I mean, this sort of conditions we've not seen since we've been there. And with the Pirelli tyres, these teams and riders, they've got no experience obviously from last year because we didn't come because of the floods. And we could see some like cold tearing. It's that cold compared to yesterday.
And Max Keyless, you've got a Keyless feeling today. He's going from the front row. Yeah,
you just know the season is hard. I just feel like winner last time out. I feel like it's a safe bet, not foregone conclusion, but you know what Keyless is like. Maximo Keyless, he's going to be.
He's Maximo.
He wants to go out in style. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
So what are we looking at the start here?
Well, I'll tell you what, there'll be mistakes with people going wide. There'll be a big group that got a lot of wind, adapted to conditions. Yeah, so that's what I expect.
Could have a
bit of everything. Basically.
Well, that's a surprise that you've said that. Thank you very much for that tremendous insight into the start of our final race day from Valencia of our 2025 season. It's Adrian Fernandez who is in pole position. We'll hand to our commentators then, Michael Laverty and Gavin Emmett. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie. Yeah, we are ready to race the final Moto3 race of the year. It should be a stunner with the Leopard boys 1 and 2. Max Keyless in the mix. 5 riders on the front 6 positions have not won a race before. Just 20 laps to go in Moto3 in 2025.
All set then for what's going to be a cracking race of Moto3. Maximo Queiroz on pole position. No, Adrian Fernandez on pole position from David Almanza, Maximo Queiroz to reverse the top 3 of the order there. Then it's Luca Lanetta, Marco Morelli, alongside Everil Carpe, Stefano Nepa, Valentin Peroni, Taio Fossato, and Adrian Piqueras, Adrian Cruzes alongside Joel Kelso, Ryan Uratai alongside Dennis Foggia, Casey O'Gorman, Jesus Rios, Guido Pini, Danish, Danny 18th, Ogden, Caro, Bertoletti, Moodley, Woolstone, Miata, Eddie O'Shea and Cormac Borkerman at the back of the field. Just 26 riders taking part in today's action.
During qualifying. Last race perhaps then for Jacob Ralston. He starts in 23rd. At the back of the grid, Eddie O'Shea and Cormac Buchanan will hope to come forward from there in our final showdown. 20 laps ahead of us to end what has been a season of chaos, courage and seriously classic racing in Moto3. One final showdown, Michael, and this race over the years, it's produced either brilliant racing or new names coming to the fore. I think back to your Chanonchus or Sergio Garcia. It's this final race, Xavi Artigas, new names appear.
Yeah, quite often you get riders stepping up from Junior GT for their first appearance here at Valencia as wildcard. This season we've got Jesus Rios. He's obviously been in at the last round as well, replacing Ricardo Rossi, and he's been impressive this weekend. Didn't quite work out for him in qualifying to the level he's been shown throughout the weekend, but he's in the mix. It's always been a good race here over the years, so I think we're in for a good scrap here in Moto3 at the head of the field.
Or even a Casey O'Gorman, you know, stepping up at this stage. It's a tight racetrack, and where it was difficult to pass in MotoGP, Moto3, you can work it out, can't you, around here?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few overtaking opportunities here on a Moto3 bike. This back straight where they're coming through the kink at 7, you can dive up the inside of 8. It risks a front end tuck here on this long hanging left-hander. Even into the little hairpin at turn 11, after you go through this flip-flop, you can send it to the inside, back to first gear, stop it up, park it, make those overtakes, then the run to turn 1. It's going to be a good race. I think there's lots of opportunities here in Moto3.
Yeah, lots of contenders. Angel Figueras, a big local lad, he's got the Valencia flag on his helmet. I wonder about David Almanza, Silvan tipped up there. He hasn't actually finished in the podium. He scored a podium in Malaysia by virtue of his teammate being disqualified. he is the fastest this weekend. What does he need to do differently to get it across the line?
Yeah, keep his composure in the race, impose a rhythm that he's been able to do all weekend. The problem for him is it seemed like the others caught up a little in qualifying. He had maybe 3/10 advantage over everyone yesterday morning, likewise Friday afternoon, but the margin has shrunk. But he's certainly got pace to control this from the front.
Good to see Jose Antonio Rueda here this weekend, looking smiley, looking happy.
Especially after that crash in Malaysia, as we now get all set to get going. The race down to turn 1 is going to be very, very critical. It's a tight left-hander. 3 lefts before the first right at turn 4. The final race of the Moto3 season is about to get underway. Red lights activate. Lights out, we're underway in Valencia. Bad start from David Almanza. Great start down towards the first corner though. Coming from the outside line, Adrian Fernandez will keep the lead into the first corner. Trying to come through Maximo Cuelas. Very tight together into the first corner. That's going to be contact and they just avoid it. 5 wide of the exit into turn 2. Look at Alvaro Carpe throwing it up the inside line at turn 3. Everyone just about making it through. Now, into the tight right at the turn 4 for the first time. Light on the brakes, downhill. Anyone trying for an undercut? Yes, on the inside. Brilliant move. Coming from Almanza. He's dropped back to 5th position and then regains back up into 2nd by the end of turn 4. Going wide at the exit with Piqueras at turn 5. As they enter the right at 6, back through 7 and 8, now past the biggest grandstand in the world as it loops back around a total of 7 corners. Down on the brakes into turn 9. Fernandez leading, Almanza, Maximo Cuelas, Alvaro Carpe up a couple of positions as well. Well, a dream start. Oh, big one there, down at the back. Now, I don't know if that is going to be Scott Ogden. Yeah, it was either Scott Ogden or his teammate of Adrian Cruzos, who's down in 12th position. But Scott Ogden from the back of the field has already gone down. As now, literally, Adrian Fernandez gets swamped by Almanza, Cuelas and Alvaro Carpe down to the last 2 corners on the circuit. So Scott Ogden has crashed out. Ryder is okay. That's the best news coming out of this one, as the Rider Tracker, well, decides to do Rider Tracker things. It's still brand new technology, I suppose, that we're having to get used to with the situation. But as they move down towards turn 1, into the lead goes David Almanza. Adrian Fernandez down into 2nd position as the field continues to go around. There is Scott Ogden. He is out of the race at the moment. Almanza leading, Fernandez, Cuelas, Luca Lunetta, stunning performance from him. Already up to 4th position on the field, where he's starting to drop back, but it's got back up. Guido Pini up 7 places, Rios up 5 places, Stefano Neppa's down 7, Jacob Rulstrad's up 5, Dennis Foggia down 6 on the monitor. That's just what we can see of the 23 competitors out there at the moment. But meantime, at the front, no jump starts. Say race control. So that already is a little bit of a better sign. Scott Ogden out of the race, 25 runners left. Almanza by 0.3 of a second, they come through into the middle part of the section of the track once more, just trying to hold that advantage at the front of the field. Literally just lifting back up the parts where Ogden crashed down at turn 9. And it's Almanza leading his teammate Adrian Fernandez, Maximo Cuelas, Alvaro Carpe, Luca Lunetta, Valentin Peroni, Marco Morelli as well. Down 2 places where he started, and here comes Maximo Cuelas, here comes Adrian Fernandez, all diving through and going out wide is David Almanza, going way wide over the curb, having to stick his hands up because his teammate forced him wide. So Almanza drops down into 8th position from the lead of the race. Fernandez on 1:38.005, he's got the net lead of the race as they head down in towards the first corner. Maximo Cuelas looking all over the back of him there into the first of the left-handers. So, lap 3 of 20, and Moto3 is typically being Moto3, especially in Valencia. It's very hard to see who's going to have which of the advantage and disadvantage as Moreira gets back up into 5th position as Peroni drops down into 6th. Simon says, Patson saying no love lost between the Leopold riders. Fernandez bumps his teammate Almanza from P1 to P6. Has now dropped down already because Almanza is P8 on our timing monitors, so he's dropped behind Peroni and Tayo Furusato as Maximo Cuevas looks around the outside line, coming down towards turn 12. Not going to make an opportunity there, I'm afraid. Fernandez has got that inside line covered as they swap back up just left and right. Down on the brakes. Ralston's passed up the order. Cuevas is really on the back here, looking for a fifth win in the season in his rookie year. Still on the deck. Watch out for overall Carpe. That's the 95. Runs out a little bit wide and Marco Morelli. Light on the brakes now to the last corner. Trail break the front in. Is Cuevas going to have a little bit of a look? Is Carpe going to have a look because he's all over the back of him? Out of the last corner. Bump up towards the line we go now. Yellow flag's out. Last corner. Joel Kelso has gone down on the deck. That's coming down into the penultimate corner. That's turn 14. Fernandez still leads down to turn 1, but Luca Lanetta slipped up the inside line of Alvaro Carpe for third position. A sweet move. Still battling out the front. Yeah, turn 14 for Joel Kelso. But according to our rider track, he's got going again. Yep, he has. There's the 66. So Joel Kelso has rejoined. So I wonder if the front dipped away from him. Let's take a look. This is on board with Joel Kelso. Tips it in, the front dips away from it, turn 14. There's a lot of runoff down there, but the bike did end up in the gravel trap. But he sprints to the bike, picks it up and gets going again. He's rejoined 11 seconds behind Rushi Moodley. As now, Maximo Cuevas looks to the inside line, down to the braking zone. At turn number 9, can't get the slipstream on. Luca Lanetta running that 58 bike proud at the moment. I think he's got a good chance to win this race, actually, as well. He's looked very confirmed. Rios, though, what a star in the making. Just his third appearance, he's already up 5 places. Stunning performance from him. As he rounds back up, we're watching the battle for the lead. The Leopard leading with Adrian Fernandez from pole position. But Maximo Cuevas doing what he usually does, putting the pressure on. The clouds are coming into Valencia as well. That's another disadvantage of what we could have later on. There was overnight rain, and now we're waiting to see if that changes anything for the race later on. As you can see, the Moto3 as well as the Formula E start line, practice start tyre marks. They weren't here 2 weeks ago. Oh, and there's another mistake coming in for David Almanza. Into towards the first corner, went wide and runs over the rumble strips. Meantime, Marco Morelli gets ahead of Alvaro Carpe. Tayo Furusato gets ahead of Valentin Peroni. Both on the inside line at turn 2. Then through the right at 4 and 5. Up to the left at 6. What are we going to have this time? Nope, still not having that opportunity. Valencia's a very hard circuit to overtake at. That's always the problem. You've got to sort of commit to a move a day early and hope it's been sent with first class stamp, because it is such a tight circuit. It narrows up on itself in the apex, and you can find yourself chopped off quite quickly. Through we go again. This is to the middle part of the section, coming down through turn 9 to 10, 11 and 12. We're watching the front 3 as Luca Lanetta still getting closer. Piqueras passes Peroni for 9th position. Tayo Furusato is on the back of Caro, and here comes Maximo Cuevas. He's got the run on the inside line. This is what we're on about having to send him very early. He's run himself too deep. He's dropped it wide, and that's going to allow Lanetta the inside line. He picks it up. Now it's all about the straightening up of the bike, point, and basically just pull the accelerator. Look at the slipstream we've got from Furusato. Under attack now with Guido Pini and Angel Piqueras on the inside line. Down to the braking zone for turn number 1. Sato moving around the outside. Brilliant move. So at the moment, Valentin Peroni moves up to 10th. Stefano Nepa again down 5 places. There's now a break forming, as you can see on the rider tracker, with us down with Caro. So it is now the battle breaking. That's Ralston. So yeah, Nicola Caro running in 18th position. He's now backing the pack up, and then Stefano Nepa is also breaking off the back of Rios for 11. So there's a gap forming in the field, which is pretty much bog standard at the moment. Lap 6 of 20, 15 laps to go. We are 1/4 through. And still Maximo Cuelas using that Pirelli tyre for good measure. He's so much deeper on the brakes. I think it's working out nicely. Linktr in third. Reminder, we've got a Moto2 race coming up to decide the world champion. Diego Moreira could become the first ever Brazilian motorcycle world champion in just a couple of hours' time. As up the inside, there goes Vaqueras, forcing wide Guido Pini. Pini getting his backside up in the air to sort of slam back down on the bike and go, yep. Now it gives you a bit of extra momentum down the straights. Our man stood at 1:37.815. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far. And out goes wide for Osato. That'd be a track limits warning. We're 3 wide into the braking zone though. As at the inside, Luca Linetta makes the move for second position on Cuelas. Didn't see that coming because Cuelas was trying to go around the outside line of Fernandez, but Fernandez had such a deep braking zone, it just made it stick. So Fernandez, and Cuelas diving up the inside line at turn 5. Not going to work. Backs out of that one immediately. Linetta cuts the inside line at 6. Will he defend it through 7 and 8 into their braking zone? Turn 7, a quick little kink to the left. Turn 8, heavy braking zone. Down to second gear. Hug the inside line. Control the accelerator at the back. Don't let the rear step out from underneath you. Everyone, and there goes Cuelas at the inside line. We saw that coming. He nudges out Luca Linetta down at turn 10. Armanza's back up into 4th position as well. He's now rejoining this fight. He's bringing tyre for Osato with him. Such a close battle already in this Moto3. Late on the brakes. And here comes up the inside. A cheeky move from Alvaro Carpe. Makes the move, and poor Guido Pini is getting bullied out there today. Just dropping back and back and back. Almanza has passed tyre for Osato. They're side by side at the line. For Osato's got the inside line. He'll cut off the 22 down to turn 1, and here comes Luca Linetta to try and gain places back. He's back into 4th where he started. And again, that's got to be now David Almanza's 3rd track limit warning. If so, it'll be a long lap penalty. He's let some riders go through as well. Pini's gone through. Carpe's gone through. Almanza's now down to 7th position. Fernandez, though, controlling this race perfectly. He leads by a 1/10 of a second on lap 8 of 20. And Rishi Buckerman has been, Cormac Buckerman I should say, has been given a track limits warning. That's the only one that's flashed up on our monitors so far, up here in the commentary box. Still finding a dive bomb on the inside line. And making a move on the inside, Vaqueras gets ahead of Marco Morelli. Casey Gomez moved up into 13th position as well with some sweet moves. It's now the field just starting to experience the first of the tyre wear issues. Also, don't forget, the Moto3 Championship got wrapped up. Jose Antonio Rueda is already the champion. 365 points, that's his season total. After both him and Noah Deltweller requiring to be resuscitated at the circuit in Malaysia, remarkable that as Noah Deltweller recovers in his home, that Jose Antonio Rueda is here this weekend watching on as he'll make his way up to Moto2 next season. Maximo Cuelas all over the back of Adrian Fernandez through turn 3 into 4. Tyre for Osato. It's a Moto3 lap record, a 1:37.775. So it's a new all-time best race lap. Don't know why they've got the title graphic up. That is absolutely pointless. We know that Maximo Cuelas and Adrian Vaqueras might be able to swap for second place in the standings, but Vaqueras is down in 8th position. Maximo Cuelas is challenging for the win, so it's a pointless graphic to flash up at us to say, look at this. This is going to be a close battle. This is a race battle only, nothing else. As Alvaro Carpe takes 5th position away from Guido Pini. Tyre for Asato now looking a bit racy, but he's got that wrong. Looking ahead, he's going to try and slip on the inside line down at turn 10. Nope, not there. Tyre wear starting to become an issue. They are Pirelli rubber, remember. You go a lot of pace early on, but then risk having tyre wear later in the race. Guido Pini, though, started 17th up to 6th and in the battle for a win. Absolutely storming start from him. Can't wait to see what we can do next year. Over the line we go. Lap 10 of 20. We're halfway in the Moto3 Grand Prix of Valencia. Is Krenat's going to have a look on the inside line, or is this now all about tyre saving for Asato? Desperately trying to look through. Down to turn 3. And they've lifted off. Back on the throttle through 4. Turn 4 has frightened me. Right hander for the first time on a cold track. Air temperature 18 degrees. Ground temperature 18 degrees. That may sound nice and lovely if you're a Brit, but over there in Valencia and in motorcycle racing, it's a death trap, because that means the track is not generating enough surface temperature. It's just mirroring what the air temperature is doing, and it gets slippery. That's why we're seeing a few of them going wide at the track limits. They can't keep the bikes planted on the circuit. Cloud cover's not helping either in certain parts of the circuit. Wind speeds at 5 kilometers, 15% chance, sorry, 55% chance of rain in this race. 3, 4, 5 groups sort of now formed on the circuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even. You see the separation coming in. Top 6 in a battle. They're separated by 0.6 of a second.
See how he stomps it into turn 14. Close to the rear wheel of Fernandez once again, but sideways in there on braking and confident to ride so close to the rider in front. I think you're right. I think he's got a little left in the locker.
I mean, the elastic's broken for Marco Pirelli.
Right, that's right around the outside.
Again there. Fernandez deeper into turn 1.
Again, Almanza off the
hanging
one.
on in second, isn't he? He's going to go at some point, without a doubt. But David Almanza just losing touch ever so slightly with this front group now.
Yeah, which I'm surprised about. We did say Almanza's the guy with the rhythm, although at the front it is 38.0, 37.9. We know Almanza's capable of doing that. It's whether his front tyre could be giving him a little bit of trouble here already in this race. He's one of the other Honda runners who chose the SC2 tyre today, and they typically like to run the SC1.
That's the halfway point in this race. Marco Pirelli's got a track limits warning, so does Cormac Buchanan at the back of the field. So just something there, a bit of a warning to keep your wheels in line. There are a few tricky track limits areas around this racetrack, where if you know, it's not predictable. You see it obviously all around here at turn 11. There's a lot of places you can go over the curbs. That's not one of them out at turn 11.
No, 11 and 12. You have to be careful on the direction change at 12. These Moto3 riders are getting close to the paint, and then the little square on the exit of the final turn at turn 14 is an easy one to get caught out of. But then, as you mentioned, there are a number of areas where you can drop off the high end of the curb, and it is just red paint on the asphalt. And these Moto3 riders have been using it this weekend.
You see that little painted bit there just out the final corner. That's caught a few out this weekend. So across the line we go. 9 laps to go in this Moto3 race. Still Adrian Fernandez leads. Still the pace 1:38.0. Still Quiles quicker than him on that last lap.
Oh, for Asato!
Thinking about attacking.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing from Furusato here at this point in the race. Just looks comfortable there, but Quiles, you know, will have something up his sleeve. Fernandez controlling with a good rhythm at the front. And Almanza's regripped a little bit here over the last couple of laps. He's looking like he's settled back into a good rhythm again and staying in contact with the group.
He's actually the quickest, isn't he, of that front group of 8 now. And Piqueras is labouring. He's labouring to stick with them. But I still think he's not out of it. if the battle starts to ensue.
Yeah, we know what can happen here. A few dive bombs in Moto3, a little bit of compromising the pace at the front, and all of a sudden Keras is back on and he gets fired up. Whenever he can sniff a podium, he finds a way through.
You just wonder though if Pini and Carpe need to start having a look at Lunetta, whose pace was just a couple of tenths down on the other. You see Pini and Carpe behind. Almanza was sat up there, out of turn 11. This was a little moment for him.
Having a look at his tyres, no marking on them at this point.
Rosato's looking on the inside line.
Yeah, just
Kelso's going too deep.
Close, he breaks. Maximo Quiles,
Yeah, but again, Maximo Quiles went in too deep. Rosato's now back up into second position. He's made that move beautifully through that last corner. And now, tyre for Rosato up 7 places. Guido Pini's up 13. That's unheard of in Valencia. Fabulous stuff from the rookie. In we go again, and look at, right, how on earth has David Almanza not been given a long lap penalty? He is shortcutting the exit of turn 1 every single lap. That is beyond ridiculous. The stewards are looking at that. Look, we got, and now Almanza gets a track limits warning. So does Baqueras. Took a while, as up the inside line now. We see the move going on for Alvaro Carpe getting ahead of Luca Linetta on the inside line at turn 5. Took a while, but now David Almanza finally does have that track limits warning. So does Baqueras, Caro, Morelli, Buchanan, as we heard from Gav. They've all got it coming through. Oh, Scott Ogden has gone to the medical centre. That's just flashed up on our timing monitor as an update. So he has gone to the medical centre for a checkup. That's probably due to the sensor going off about the accident. Alvaro Carpe's moved up into 5th position, looking at that. Oh, that was Alvaro Carpe shaking his head at the exit. Not happy there. There is Jose Antonio Rueda, our Moto3 world champion. How wonderful it is to see him awake, alert, and looking a hell of a lot better after that horrific accident on the sighting lap in Malaysia just 3 weeks ago. Let's not forget. He had to be resuscitated multiple times. Wonderful doctors here in MotoGP. Fernandez leading, tyre for Rosato, going for the move on the inside line, down into turn 3, can't make it. He's just letting Fernandez know he's there. The Japanese rider is attack here in Valencia, trying to get ahead of the Spaniard of Adrian Fernandez. Out of 5. Into 6. Little look. No. Answer that, no. Can't find the positioning that he wants to. Exit here is like crazy as they fly through. Down to the brakes again. Shift. Control the inside line. Pull the throttle back down the start-finish straight. Adventure. I don't know. Linetta's dropped back now to 6th. Rosato's looking quick. Fernandez holding it. It's between the top 3. Guido Pini's going to try and hold on to this one. We've got a late race charge forming here in Valencia for Moto3. They're going to give us a stereotypical end to this 2025 season, which was dominated by Jose Antonio Rueda. But the ending has been just as exciting as Carpe gets ahead of Guido Pini. And we exit the last corner. Over the line again. Zen Mitati. Oh yeah, he's crashed out. Zen's out. That's down in sector 2. Sector 3, it's telling us on the control monitor. So that's now going to be yellow flags in that turn, as you can see on the rider tracker. Everyone's just at the fastest first sector. The top 7 have now gone again. They've hit that go point. Just see where David Alman's going to try and look from as well. He's trying to attack back into this one, despite that track limits warning. He's taking every exit he can do. Top 3 still in that battle with 6 to go here in Valencia. For Rosato. down the brakes. Fernandez just so much deeper. We've gone green, by the way, in Sector 3, so that shouldn't affect these riders. Closing down. Almost have clutch brake at this point as well. Surprised they've all been so well behaved. Moto3 usually is the action-packed race of the day. Moto2 coming up is going to be an interesting one with the world title on the line. It's the only one that's gone down to the final race of the year, and Moto2 always lacks a bit of entertainment. Maximo Cuelas dives on the inside line of Tayo Furusato at the last corner. Furusato trying to keep his front wheel behind the rear wheel of Cuelas as they come out now down towards turn number 1. 5 laps to go here in Valencia. 3 wide into the first corner. Cuelas trying to go around the outside of Fernandez. Not going to work out there. Through turn 1. Look at Furusato holding that outside line. Nothing into 2. What about turn 3 coming up? Turn 4 is going to be the opportunity. That's where Furusato's going to dive bomb on the inside. Here it comes! No. Bertelli, track limits warning. Now flashing up on our timing monitors here in the commentary box. Adrian Cruises has dropped down to 15th place as well. Just 2 places. Must have run wide at the exit of turn 1. Here, their throttles opening up as they exit turn 6 through the kink at 7. Down to the braking zone at turn 8. 5 in the hunt now. Guido Pini just at the exit of this. And it's Alvaro Carpe, Tayo Furusato, Maximo Cuelas, and race leader for every single lap so far. Adrian Fernandez, who led from pole position with a great getaway. On the outside line down to turn 1. See the MotoGP line now. Yellow flag sector 2. Oh, Buchanan's just gone through that part of the track. But nobody seems to be down. Just a yellow flag generally in sector 2. Yellow flag has now gone from sector 2. 4 to go. Tension starts to rise at this point because they are all now running together. One wrong mistake. We go into 1. Furusato's looking at it. He's been playing to the inside line in turn 2. He's got the run on Maximo Cuelas. Cuelas gives him a little bit of an elbow down to the braking zone. Lifts it back out. Literally an elbow coming through. Cautious, wild accelerations as they pick those bikes up once more through 6. Just at the exit, trying to find the right pace. Furusato can't look at it there. It's going to be a long 4 laps at this rate. They're not making the moves. They're all waiting for the go point, and they're not getting the go point. Fernandez beautifully holding everything back right now in this race. Absolute perfection. 37.9, 38.0, so good in terms of his rhythm, which hasn't provided an opportunity for Quiles, although Maximo, we know, will get creative in these last couple of laps. He will send it somewhere around this racetrack. He's looked on a few occasions in turn 14, but on the wrong side of Fernandez most times.
Christian Gorman has got track limits warning. He should have got through on Ralston for 16th. We ride in 4th place with Alvaro Carpe. What have you got, Alvaro? Come on. Last chance this year in your rookie season. It's been a good rookie year. Not quite matched that of Max Quiles, but you're both going to be doing battle for the title next year. So put your flag in the ground. Yeah. Make a stamp on it. Show them who's boss. It's what we want at this stage of the race. 3 to go then. Fernandez from Quiles, Furusato, Carpe and Pini. And of course, of that quintet out there, only Furusato is moving up next year. There is bragging rights to head into next year as Furusato attacks Quiles.
Yep, attacks him on the inside line down at turn 2, makes that move stick, easy peasy. So now this is the go point for Tayo Furusato. His last ever Moto3 race, he wants to sign it off with a race victory. He'll be up in Moto2 next year. Again, attack, attack, attack. Think about the consequences later on. You've got nothing left to lose. Leave everything on the track for the last race of the year. Here is Alvaro Carpe in 4th position. Fastest of all in that second sector between our leaders. We're get my words out. That's still on the attack. It'll be a very difficult last lap. Again, Sato just forces his way down to the braking zone, chops off the inside line maximum credits. Danish has dropped down into 16th position. So Hakim Danish has dropped outside of the points. He was running in 14th place. So loses out once more. Danish back up to 15th. There's a battle going on further back we should be watching. 2 to go here in Valencia. A 5-way fight for victory. Fernandez, Fonosato, Krelas, Carpe and Pini. And Fonosato's got the move down towards turn number 1. He's in the slipstream. Pulls to the inside line, lay on the brakes. This is going to be a practice run. You don't get many chances to overtake here in Valencia. This is going to be the dummy run for the last lap. Krelas attacks the inside line. Into turn 2. He gets ahead of Fonosato, tries to hold around the outside. But Krelas has a track limits warning. Fonosato down on the inside line at turn 4, returns the favour. Slips back underneath. Maximo Krelas, that's allowing Fernandez the gap he needs at the front. They can't fight each other. They've got to go after Fernandez. Lunetta's dropped back 4 places. Almanza Paqueras goes through. So that's bad for Lunetta. Looked like he could win this race earlier on. Fonosato, I think now, is battling with Krelas too much. He's let Fonosato. Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, Morelli. Oh, hello. This is interesting. Can't serve it, so it'll be a time penalty. But Morelli has been given a long lap penalty. Now he runs in 9th position. So, exceeding the track limits, that could promote Brian Uritai into a points-paying position. Krelas up the inside line at the last corner. That's very late. Makes the move. This is the last lap of the Moto3 season of 2025. Who is going to be victorious in what has been a close race, a typical Moto3 Valencia race as well? Fonosato dives on the inside line at turn 1, gets out of Maximo Krelas for 2nd position, but going for it! Really let the brake off. He's looking at the inside line at turn 2. Fernandez shuts the door. Carpe's gone round the outside of Guido Pini. Through 3. Not an overtake opportunity. Turn 4 is Fonosato too far back to make the move. Fernandez leading here in Valencia. But is it going to be a run to the line? It's such a long exit of turn 15. And up the inside for 3rd position, Alvaro Carpe with a sweet move on the inside of turn 6 of Maximo Krelas, who's back on the inside line at turn 7. Down into the braking zone for 8. Krelas has the position. This is great because now that allows Fonosato to attack the back of Fernandez. Krelas into 3rd. Carpe down into 4th. Pini's just going to wait back to see what happens in the line. They're all separated by half a second, separating the top 5. That's literally bike to bike as they come into the 3rd sector. Sector 4 is approaching. Now, this is the last corner. Fonosato's going for it. It's make or break into turn 15. Krelas gets forced down wide by Carpe for 3rd. It's a drag race to the line. He's led every lap. He'll win the last race of the year. Adrian Fernandez wins in Valencia. Fonosato 2nd and Carpe steals 3rd of the line. Guido Pini steals 4th. And Maximo Krelas goes down into 5th position. 6th for Paqueras, 7th Almanza, Lunetta 8th. Morelli, Rios gets points. Perone, Nepa, O'Gorman, Danish, Cruzas and Rulestone doesn't get points that he dropped out. Cruz gets 15th for the last point. Wow, what a final lap that was. It was all on the line. But Adrian Fernandez wins on home soil here in Valencia. Fonosato 2nd and Alvaro Carpe taking 3rd. And the burnouts begin as some riders will leave to join Moto2. What a race here in Valencia. What a season in 2025. Raid is the champion. Fernandez wins in Valencia. Stunning last corner. Stunning last lap. Queiroz got forced out wide. Pini came in like a bat out of hell. And it was a drag to the line. Fernandez, Furasato, Carpe, Pini, Queiroz, top 5 at the line by 4/10. Well, a very interesting Moto3 racing at the ending. That was certainly something. Just to confirm the runners further down, as Alvaro Carpe has been promoted to 2nd position. On my timing screen, Tayo Furasato has been dropped 1 position for exceeding track limits on the last lap. Video finish is in progress for 7th position. That's because Almanza and Lunetta crossed the line with exactly 0.000 between them. So there's a gap going on there, but a penalty for Tayo for us, and Morelli's been given that 3-second time penalty for failing to follow. So Luca Lunetta has been promoted up into 7th position ahead of David Almanza. And I believe, with Rios being so far back, that Marco Morelli will keep 9th position. But Alvaro Carpe will be 2nd, and Tayo Furasato will be in 3rd position. Max says, yeah, it looks like the Fernandez boys like to lead the whole race as they win. Yep, it looks that way. Video finish confirmed, 7th position for rider 58. That is Luca Lunetta. We'll stay with TNT for the podium ceremony to get used to it as well and see what's going to happen next. But Fernandez, Carpe, Furasato is your new top 3. Caro has been promoted to 18th position as Bertelli has dropped 1 place for track limits on the last lap as well. So it looks like there'll be a couple of bits to come through. As I believe Omi and Wes have sent a message in about don't forget to go back and take a look at the Macau Grand Prix footage. Apparently that was really good. Now what's happened here? Marco Morelli's dropped down to 12th position. So now that puts Almanza 8th, Rios 9th, Peroni 10th, Nepa 11th, and Morelli drops down into 12th position. It's all go with the changes on the last laps, isn't it? After the flag changes, that's why we stay with it on the last race of the year. Moto2 coming up as well in around about 35 minutes' time. It's going to be a very entertaining race for that one, as we will crown a Moto2 champion. But for now, for the podium ceremony, we will send it back down to Gavin Emmett alongside Michael Laverty, and then we'll hear from Susie and Neil and Sylvan in the paddock. Let's head back down to Gav.
Welcome back to Valencia, final round of the championship. Tayo Furasato can celebrate with a podium. Unfortunately, has been pushed back to 3rd because of touching the green paint on the last lap, exceeding track limits, of course. So he got a position penalty. He drops to 3rd. Carpe then up to 2nd. No doubt about your winner, though. Adrian Fernandez, and not headed since he took the lead, albeit aggressively, from his teammate on that opening lap.
Yeah, I do wonder if there'd be words between David Almanza and Adrian Fernandez, their last day as teammates.
I don't know whether it'll be words. It might be actions.
Maybe a little fisticuffs, but yeah, it was a quite dirty move at the start of the race, but then from there on, he was inch perfect. The whole way around the track, he was so strong, turning good, stopping good, accelerating well. The Leopard machine had good top end today, and Adrian Fernandez executed perfectly.
Probably wondered whether that day was ever going to come. Adrian Fernandez, he's knocked on the door. 21 years of age now, his 86th Grand Prix. Tell me that's grandma.
I would imagine so.
That is
no for sure, but yeah, it looks that way.
That'd be superb. Love it. There's Denis Onchu down. Good to see him back here this weekend. And yeah, good to see, isn't it? So Carpe, 2nd place for him. Moves him up to 4th in the championship ahead of David Munoz. In the end, Piqueras held on to 2nd place ahead of Quiles, which is a disappointment, isn't it, for Quiles, having been in 2nd for most of that race.
Yeah, Piqueras done what he needed to do in the end. It wasn't to be in terms of his pace in the race, but runner-up in the World Championship, an important box to tick. Unfortunately for Kelso, no points today, so he remains 6th overall. He looked like he was set to move up into the top 5.
That was Araceli, Adrian's mum, there on the right-hand side of the picture. Mia Dracotto is the follically challenge man on the left-hand side, who is the boss of Leopard. And you spoke to him this weekend, haven't you, about the fact that they hadn't won a race this year?
Yeah, he's mentioned it a few times over the last few rounds. It was certainly beginning to frustrate the team. They've always had success over the years, but yeah, finally getting it done at round 22 of the season. And yeah, Fernandez a deserved victor.
So Morelli did get a 3-second penalty and drops back to 12. I thought we had more space behind him, but got it wrong. Down to 12th, unfortunately, for Marco. But look, I bet you're so proud of what he's achieved in these final few races with your team.
Yeah, he's been great. I was ashamed there. I don't know if he's a tyre woes, but he just lost touch with the group. Had a lonely race to 9th, but it was a top 10 finish, well earned. And yeah, he's come really good over the last quarter of the season with us. And he moves on to Aspar next week, and I wish him well. He is a bright talent for the future.
So Leopard celebrate a first victory of the season, a barren season for them. It's encouraging, isn't it, that we've had effectively a 1-2 across the line for Honda, and let's hope there can be more coming from Honda next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's been a tough season for Honda. All the Honda teams, it's been a lean period. Furusato taking the victory in Malaysia, then backed up with Fernandez today. It is positive signs all around to try and I guess knock KTM's dominance out of the Moto3 category.
Grand Prix, and finally Adrian Fernandez wins. And you know, he's been in and out of this paddock as well, hasn't he? That's another fact we mustn't forget. Let's hear from Tayo Furusato today, who again turned up on race day.
Tayo, what a way to finish the season. A hat-trick of podiums to get you fully prepared for the move to Moto2 next year. It was an intense race with Adrian leading the way for so long. At any moment, did you feel you could make a move on him?
For sure, I was preparing for the lap. I mean, when I see last 5 laps, I was thinking to attack it, but you know, Maximo was too strong on the brake, and we fight a bit before behind Adrian, and Adrian was super pace. So, you know, I'm super happy for Podium. I mean, my last race of my Moto3, so I'm really happy for that. But you know, I was really trying to win the race because I was thinking, okay, now I have to go. But today Adrian was so strong, and happy for the performance these few races, and my team is so nice. I mean, we've been 4 years, same people, and a little bit emotion, but thanks to all my team, and happy for that.
Great ride, well done.
Thank you.
He's a lovely lad, is Tayo Furusato, and has shown in recent rounds why he's heading to Moto2 next year. Wish him well in that journey. Of course, he stays with the same team. And that was the moment that relegated him from 2nd to 3rd, however.
Yeah, trying to set it up with the last lap. If he'd have made a move on Fernandez, he would have then ended up retaining his 2nd position because he would have had to give away the spot. But as it went, Carpe's move on the last turn earned him that.
Well, Carpe takes 4th in the championship from David Munoz. Let's hear what he has to say to Jack.
Alvaro, what a brilliant way to finish the season. You battled so hard in those closing laps, and I imagine this means an awful lot with Jose Antonio in your corner this weekend.
Yeah, it was brilliant to have him supporting me. First of all, I want to say thanks to all the people who come today, all the fans that they are here cheering, all the Spanish people. I want to dedicate the podium to them. And yeah, the race was very, very difficult because Adrian was pushing from the beginning. I thought Almanza also had the pace to lead the race, but he was struggling a little bit. But yeah, the group was a little bit of fight and fast. It was very difficult to manage, very difficult. But yeah, I want to say thanks to all my team because this season was incredible.
all the team, my crew chief, my mechanics, all my family, they are here, all my friends that to come to the circuit to see me. So yeah, the podium is to them. I want to send a kiss also to all the people who suffered a lot last year with the Dana, all the rains, and yeah, all the podium is for them.
Congratulations, great ride.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Dana was the extreme weather event that struck this region last year and caused so much devastation. So a lovely little message there from Alvaro Carpe. How would you rank his rookie season?
Yeah, solid. He had the typical rookie season dip, but he's been able to deliver and to get a podium here at the final round. He's very eloquent in English, not his native tongue. He speaks so well. Yeah, he's a good all-round contender. I look forward to seeing him and Quiles go head-to-head a lot more next season.
Yeah, everyone tells me a good egg. Alvaro Carpe. Quiles had to cut back onto the track. He couldn't continue powering onto the line because of the green paint. There's Carpe taking the acclaim of the local fans. More to come from him next year, I'm sure. More to come from Adrian Fernandez. Best we've seen from him as he wins for the first time.
Adrian, the perfect way to finish the season with the perfect performance. How does it feel to finally be a Grand Prix winner?
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't have words. I remember my brother take the first victory here. For me, also for my family, for the team, it's very important, this victory. Oh, it's amazing. I don't have word for say thank you. I don't have word for explain this feeling.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, it's fair to say Adrian Fernandez has had his moments over the years, but that was a tremendous victory.
Yeah, great performance. Control the race from the front. Yeah, he had to make a pass on his teammate, which was really aggressive on the first lap, or the second lap. It caught us all a bit off guard. He sort of ran his teammate nearly off the track. But I've got to say, from that moment on, what a race. Because he was very fast, but he rode defensive. Every time out of turn one, he came over to cut off the chance for anyone to pass him into two. Clever riding, really clever riding. And yeah, you've got to give it to him. I mean, like I said, aggressive pass, but a class ride after that.
Yeah, it was building, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we knew we were going to get a good last lap, but he just seemed to have it nailed on.
It's just a pace they was able to do. You know, with the other guys in the slipstream, it's really, really hard to keep composure like this. Defend, but not compromise your corner exit, and then eventually get slipstream, you know. So he did really well. Didn't quote a full wrong. I mean, clearly at the start of the race, the pass on his teammate, yeah, he was a little bit maybe over-aggressive, and he sort of run him off the track there. But then from that, like Neil said, he did not put a foot wrong. It was a perfect race, very well managed. He had to manage the tyre wear as well. You know, when you're leading like this, we said about, you know, maybe cold air, or we were talking about the tyre wear, and he was able to do that as well. Push when it mattered, and they couldn't lay a glove on him.
Tell you what, that bike was fast. We could
really
see
fast.
it. We kept watching the helicopter, didn't we? And accelerating on these little short straights, punch out of the corner. That's why you won as well. I mean, no one was close enough in the braking zones because the bike got off the corner so well.
Yeah, and a great timing for him to have that win in his pocket throughout the winter, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect, and for the team as well. They've not won a race
won
yet.
this season.
No, and they're normally quite successful. So for them, that's the positive way of going into the winter. I was just thinking, yeah, Michael was saying in the commentary that they run quite a short bike, which means a rear wheel, not a long swing arm. That means more rear grip. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he was able to punch out the corners like this.
Yeah, and Taya Furuzawa, he rode another good race, didn't he, today?
Yeah, really, really immaculate race. He had to work his way through, got up into second, and he got sort of messed up a little bit, I think, by Quiles the lap before. Just took that little bit of rhythm away from him, and it sort of stopped him really having a chance to have a go into the last corner.
We saw a lot, didn't we, of track limits, because it's one of those kinds of tracks, really, where you're trying to use all parts of the track.
Oh, it's easy around here to run wide. I mean, we see them as well, even when there is no green. Out of turn 1, out of turn 6, we see them jumping the curbs many, many times and been on the other side. So it is tight around here, and even for a Moto3 bike, these guys are making the most of it. This season as well, Keyless, I thought, has brought something new, and they're copying him. He's using all the track and more of it. You know, if there is a curb, but it's not green on the outside, he'll go there. And he'll do it consistently to try and gain a bit of an advantage. So they've started to copy him a bit, and that's why we're seeing that, you know, them using the track and a little bit more of it.
I can hear a little flutter of applause behind, so the podium must be occurring. Let's go and celebrate.
Yeah, just can see them stepping up there now. Massimo Virgini from Leopard, who's been instrumental in that team over the years. He stands alongside Tayo Furusato, Alvaro Carpe, and now Adrian Fernandez, just like his brother before him, taking victory in Valencia. His first victory in Valencia. So finally, for the first time this season, the Leopard racing team can celebrate victory in the final round of the championship. First win of 2025 for them. Tayo Furusato holds aloft the trophy. That's his 9th podium now in Grand Prix in Moto3 before he steps up to Moto2. Alvaro Carpe will be back next year. 5 podiums, 4th in the championship. Not a bad rookie return. Just Max Quiles ahead of him in the championship, and a proud grandma, it looks like, underneath the podium, which you'd love to see. The FIM president comes with the gold trophy for Adrian Fernandez. Grand Prix number 86 and a first win in the World Championship. Miodrag Couture proudly watches on from underneath it. And this will be a rousing rendition of the Royal March.
World Championship for Moto3 complete. On the podium here in Valencia, it's champagne time. Well, the Moto3 season comes to a close. Jose Antonio Rueda is the world champion, and Adrian Fernandez wins his home Grand Prix. Moto3 will return in 2026. We can't wait to see you there. From us all here, thanks for your company this season. See you in 2026. Bye-bye.